YouTube, welcome. It's Family Man Jay here, back with another video. Today, I wanted to talk about my plans and my family's plans for what's next. Like with this unemployment, what's our real plans? So let's get into it. How this all kind of came about was, I just haven't been happy. I've been stressed. I've been, just not feeling good lately, and I know that it's has all to do with this business and property management, and just the people I'm dealing with, my clients, the tenants. It's just been an absolute nightmare the last few months, and I would say even the last few years. But it's really just kind of boiled over to the point where the last few months have been treacherous. I've never really felt this way in my life. So for me, the decision was clear. It's like, do I put myself through this basically agony, through hell, just for a couple dollars? Or do I just say fuck it and drop it and figure something else out? Because this life is, I love my life, but dealing with all of this headache is, that's not living. So that's definitely was the main thing. So my wife, she's always watching. She knows that, because we communicate. So when I'm telling her every day how I feel, and she sees the stress on me, she knows how much I put into this business, and how personal I take everything. So she sees it, and when she tells me, like, yeah, this got to stop. This is it. I say, hey, I'm with it. Once I get the green light from my wife and my family, it's like, yeah, no, the sky's the limit. And the decision, it really, it's easy, but it's not easy, because right there, this is a business, and there is things and steps that I have to take before I can really get all the way out, right? Um, I have a few doors still. I've already kind of started giving doors back to the owners and telling them, hey, you got to find somebody else. And so the process has been started, but there's still a lot of work to do. And for our plans going forward, we don't really know exactly what we're going to do yet. Like, we have plans, and we know what we're doing, like, to get to those steps, but we don't have an actual set out plan that, hey, this is exactly how we're going to be making money, this is where we're doing it, this is what we're doing. So, like, that's all a journey that we're on, and it's also, it's a challenge, right? So we're all together as a family, figuring things out, and trying to make things work and make things happen. We were just on a vacation in the mountains, and all of us, I feel like it was very mutual in the whole family. We all kind of, there was one point where we all kind of looked at each other on the way home, and we were driving, or on our way back to the Airbnb, and we're driving, and we all said, like, man, we want to live here. Like, why can't we live here? Why not? Or one day I want to move here, is what my son actually said. And I said, you know what? Me too. Me too. I love it here. This is really paradise. And we've from then, it was like we kind of discussed it as a full family, even down to our 5-year-old daughter. And we said, like, would you all want to move and live in this place? And everybody, it was a unanimous decision. Yes, yes, yes. And with this decision, it comes some heartache, because this is where our family is. This is where we grew up. We've never really left home, like, with the intentions of never coming back. But I, as a man, as a family, we've all kind of come to the conclusion that it's just for the best. Why not now? We have nothing really tying us. Once I'm wash my hands of this situation, we don't have anything tying us here, keeping us here. Like, we can move and start over. Instead of starting over here, why not start over somewhere that we want to be, right? So with that, it's tough because the younger me, the younger us, me and my wife, we always have had these dreams of, having a nice house on some acreage, and just, being free and doing things that we've been doing. And as we've grown, we've accomplished a lot of these goals and a lot of these dreams. And it's just crazy to think that, as you grow, that's what happens. As you grow, as you accomplish these dreams, you get more, you have more dreams. Your dreams get a little bigger, right? You think, wow, well, I did that. And then you meet other people who are doing bigger things, and you're like, well, that's actually possible. So why can't we do it? So it's like, along the way, we met people. I have friends and things that are doing different things, that are inspiring me, that, hey, why do I have to be stuck here? Why do I have to be stuck doing what we're doing here? So that's kind of what the whole decision, and this whole big move has arise from, right? Me and my wife, we talk about it all the time. We're like, is it wrong for us to feel like this? Are we disrupting our family by wanting this? Like, but every time we keep, weighing out the pros and the cons of each situation, and the pros of moving and the pros of starting somewhere else is always so much greater than the cons of us moving, or the pros of us staying. There's not much pros to staying, like, besides our families, and besides, like, having our foot in the door here, or having our feet planted here. There's not really much for us here. Like, we've outgrown this already. So this decision is ours, right? Where we're choosing to change. There's no emergency. There's no uh, situation that's telling us that we have to leave. We're leaving on our own, because we know that with change comes new city, new experiences, new opportunities. Just being out there, it just felt like, man, I just feel like this is just where we're supposed to be. This is where I need to come and plant my feet. Why not? I've been coming out here for the last 15 years, and we love it every time. So why not just make it home? Why not, right? So those are things that we put into perspective, and we think about it like, hey, why not just make the change before life tries to force us to change, right? This is a decision that we're making. It's not like anything is forcing us now. So might as well take the leap. Starting over at 39 is definitely different. It's different than starting over when I was in my 20s or early 30s, or any other time that I've had to start from scratch. I was young, I had lots of energy and drive, but now I'm a little bit older, but also I'm a little bit wiser, right? So I look at it as I'm starting over with 39 years of wisdom and 39 years of experience, because we're choosing to change, and we're older, we're wiser, we're more experienced in life, and more settled with how to live, how the type of life we want to live, and we know what we want in life. It just makes things a million times easier. Like, us moving before, when we were younger, was scary, because we didn't have all these things that we had that can help along the way. We didn't have the experience, we didn't have all of our investments, we didn't have all of the passive income that was coming in. So having those things helps to make it so much easier because now we're moving and it's not an emergency. It's not like, oh my gosh, something happened and now we gotta go. No, this is completely our decision. So everything that we do, we can calculate it and make sure that we do it properly. We don't have to rush. We don't have to jump into anything. We can make sure we know exactly what we're doing and plan it out accordingly and make it happen. I can't lie, like I've been having extremely mixed emotions about it, right? Because it's a big deal, right? Like we're moving our whole entire life, you know, all the way across the country basically. And we've never done anything like that before. We've gone on trips, we've done all that, but this is a whole life change, right? Um, for us to just up and leave, it's tough. Our families are here, our lives were here, we grew up here, friends are here, people we love are here, and that's the hardest part. But throughout the period of us kind of telling everybody, we've been kind of breaking the news to everybody lately, and through it, everybody supported us. Everybody's kind of shown us like, hey, if you guys do it, we'd probably try and do it too. So like people want to come with us, all of our loved ones. So we're inspiring change the same way that my friends have inspired me to change. So we really hope that maybe some of these people can make the move with us. It'll be great, even if we establish ourselves out there for the first year and then eventually they start trickling over there. Why not, right? That's what the goal is. One of the factors of us moving and one of the factors of why it's so hard to move is that our kids are getting older. Our two oldest are now adults, both graduated, ready to, take on the world. And then my daughter is just about to start school, so it's a perfect time. The only one that it's really it hurts my heart about is my youngest son. He's going into grade 5 this year, and it's like he's in our town. He's established a group of friends. Everybody loves him. This is his people's, and that part really breaks my heart. And it's tough, but we gotta really just look at it as we can't look at it like that, because as long as we keep our ties to where we're from, we're always going to be able to reach out. We're always going to keep in touch with these people. They'll come and visit him too. We have a really great relationship with his friends' parents and whatnot. So we're definitely going to be keeping in touch, but it definitely hurts. It breaks my heart when I think about it, and I think that's probably going to be one of the hardest parts of the move is changing schools and going to school in a whole new place. So people always say like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But for me and my wife, we always look at it as, if you're going to do the same thing, you're just being still. Yes, it's comfortable, yes, but we don't want to be comfortable. We want to get to higher places. We've been comfortable. We've never been comfortable. We get to a position and then we always want to do more. My wife, she has all these aspirations and she drives me, man. I'm telling you, she pushes me. Once she gives me the green light, it's go, and we're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna figure out how to make it happen for her, because she's given me everything in life that I could ask for. So I gotta make sure I do the same for her. We definitely don't know what the future holds, but we're confident that this is going to be our best chapter. This decision is going to be one of the best decisions that we ever make in life. You know, yes, there's going to be hard times, there's going to be ups and downs, and yes, we're going to question ourselves at times, but in life, that's just what it is. If we stay here and we do the same thing, we're still going to be questioning ourselves like, what if? What if we left and what if we didn't stay? Like, I think the what ifs of what if we left are way worse than the what if we don't make it out there, because I know myself and I know my drive and I know my wife and my family, my sons, and I know that we we can never fail. We can never fail wherever we go. We got each other, and that's enough to push us to any limit. Anything that we want in life, we can achieve it. So those are some of my plans, my goals, some of the things that I have in motion, and I'm gonna be documenting it all the way. So if you like what you see, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Come along for the ride. You'll see it's gonna be a wild one. Hopefully not too wild though. But yeah, if y'all have any advice for us and any tips or anything that you guys even want to express, hit the comments and let us know, and we'll definitely be engaged. So thanks for watching, and until next time.